Inside. So I want to see if this exercise is going to work for you guys. If not, it's okay. We'll just do something else. So the last exercise that I'm including in our workout is this door wedge. So you're going to be like a kid in the door frame here, right? And you'll stick your butt in your door frame. You'll put your hands against the wall, and then one foot, stick your butt in, lean back. And then the other foot, if you can lean. If that's too much, we'll just figure something else out. But I can just use that as an example for creating wedges. I don't want anybody to hurt themselves, actually, so don't do that. But creating wedges, right? That'll be our example. So today, we're going to add on to some concepts behind the guillotine, which is hip movement. So you know when you get into your, I'll use Barry here. We're getting into our guillotine. And when we want to step inside to finish the guillotine, stepping up and pass, and then we're trying to get in, we have to be able to be on our side and shrimp. This action of shrimping in is what's going to help us finish the move, right? So today we're going to work on shrimping and utilizing our hips and creating wedges with our hips too as well in today's exercise. So you really won't need anything. You'll just need you all have actually a mat space in order to move around, so that's good. So that's really all you need. So this down, right? So why is shrimping important? I think we went over this before. It's one of our main forms of movement in jiu-jitsu. It's a hip mobility exercise. It's just like a dynamic movement that we constantly do in order to create angles, manage distance, and also create a strong frame and a strong structure in order to capitalize on our opponent. One thing I think we take for granted when we do jiu-jitsu, and we start to notice this as time goes on as we're training, is the importance of hip stability in this in jiu-jitsu, because I know after time a lot of us start to feel like knee pain, back pain, and we really want to prevent that. So a lot of these exercises that we're going to do now are really simple. You guys have all done them before, and they're just going to get us back into strengthening our glutes and strengthening our core as well. So let's start off with like a hip mobility exercise just to open up our hips before we actually get into the workout for today. So I'm going to have you guys start on your feet. See if I can get as much space so you guys can see me as much as possible. When I'm here, so I'm going to be starting on my feet with my legs pretty wide. All right, just start moving. We're just going to start moving our hips from side to side. So over here, I'll go to one side. Really get a nice stretch in your hip. Open up. Push your hip forward. Now push your hip to the other side. This way. Push your hip back. And then back to, right now I'm pushing my hip to my left. We're gonna do this 3 times in this direction. Push your hip forward. Opposite side. Back. And then again to the side you started on. So last rotation here. Forward. Back. To the opposite side. Back. And now we're going to switch the direction. So we're going opposite direction, starting with the opposite hip, forward, and back. Back. Side you started with, front, opposite side, back. Now this time when we're going to this side, we're going to bend this leg. So we're going to bend our leg all the way down. Bring your hands to the ground. Now I'm going to point my toe to the sky and look at that foot. So if you guys took some of Molly's gymnastic class, it's going to be very similar. I want you to push your foot forward and then bring your knee down. You can reach for your foot. We're going to bring this knee up. Hands back in front. Yep. And then come back up. And then lean to the opposite side. Opposite side. Put your toes to the ceiling. Push yourself forward. This knee comes down. Reach for your toe. Push yourselves back. Come back up. Good. We're going to go back down again. Look toward toes, push yourselves forward. This time we're going to curl our front leg. So we're in like this pigeon stretch. There you go. And then lean forward. Take your back leg, straighten your back leg back as far as you can. Lean forward into your glutes. If you have the flexibility, you can reach back for your back leg and get a quad stretch. Let your leg fall. Now we're going to push ourselves into downward dog. Back. Rock a little bit here. Step your opposite foot forward. Get a nice stretch towards the hip that's facing the camera. Come up into triangle. Straightening that front leg. And then we're going to go back facing the center. Right? See that? So now we're bending this way. Right? So we're here. Let your toes face the ceiling. Push yourself forward, knee down, stretch. Bend your front leg into pigeon. Straighten that back leg. Push yourself back into downward dog. neck if you need to. Rock your knees. Now you're going to step the foot far away from the camera. Stretching this hip that's close to the camera. Push back into triangle, stretch that front leg. Walk yourself down in the middle. So now all of our heads should be facing the camera. Good. Now you're going to walk yourself down. Knees on the ground. Hips forward, and you should be in like this frog position. I'm turning, so you're going to be here. And then just rock your hips side to side. Push yourself back to kneeling on your feet. Kind of rock here just a little bit. Have my feet flat right now. Back up to your toes. Sit on our toes for a little bit. Your feet. Now we're going to open up to a low squat. Here, try to get your chest to be up as tall as you can. Nice. We'll squat up. All right. Now, let's try to get 10 speed squats in right here. Ready? Go. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go into jump squats. 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hips all warmed up? Good, awesome. Okay, so I think today's workout will be lighter again from what we've been doing, but it's gonna be good. You're gonna feel your booty today for sure, and your core. So, first exercise is our single leg bridge. The difference between today's workout and what we've been doing is we're actually going to be moving in our rest. We all know how to shrimp, so we're going to have 30 seconds of rest and we're going to be moving. So we're going to do work for 45 seconds, stack as the rounds go on, and then at the end we'll have our 30-second break, but our 30-second break will be shrimping back and forth in the same spot. So that's the difference between this workout, is we're actually going to be in an active recovery. But most of the workouts will be a lot lighter than what we've been doing. So the first exercise is our single leg bridge. We've been doing this one. I just want you guys to be aware of your hips. Sometimes when we do single leg bridges, our hips kind of shift left and right. So I want you guys to notice. Let me see if I can turn my hips this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I want you to notice like where your hips are, because sometimes if you do a single leg bridge, you might not notice that you're actually kind of bridging with your hip open or overcompensating with your hip this way, and that will cause torque on your knee. So be mindful when you do your single leg bridges that everything is square. And even if you don't go all the way up, you should feel your glutes activate, and then you're trying to balance and keep everything stable from here, right? So that's the single leg bridge. Second exercise, let me remind myself what the second one is. Second exercise, oh, side plank. Side plank right and left. So we did this one last week. We'll just be side planking. Excuse me. So if this is hard for you, you're on your knees. If it's easier, if it's not that hard, you can have both feet together. If that's too easy, lift your legs up. If that's even too easy, you can bring your foot and place it on an elevated surface and side plank from here with your feet elevated. That's even more challenging. So we'll be 25 seconds left, 25 seconds right for our side planks. Then after that, we'll do hollow rocks. So I don't think we've done this one together. So hollow rocks is an ab exercise. This is really gonna burn. So we'll be here. Trying to figure out the angle. So your legs will be straight. You're gonna lift your shoulders off the mat and hold, right? To make this workout even more challenging, I can't do both hands above, but I'll have at least one hand above and I'll switch. The more you can get your hands away from your legs, you're going to challenge your core even more, right? So hollow rocks, we'll hold those for 45 seconds. After the hollow rocks, I call them like booty rocks. It's kind of like, you guys have done this, it's the butt scoot exercise, but it's these ones, I don't know what they're called. I just call them booty rocks. This is not the butt scoot is this. So you're just moving hip to hip, keeping your feet off the ground. And then we're scooching side to side. So that's what I call the booty rock. And then the second exercise was supposed to be the door wedge. We're not gonna do that. Instead, if you have an elevated surface like your couch, you have the wall there. If you have a ball, we're just gonna do an additional 45 seconds of shrimping with your feet elevated. So we're gonna go here and here, shrimp, foot up, boom, back down. We'll be shrimping out, scoot back in as if we're closing our guard, foot elevated and up. Good? All right, everybody ready? I got my music in the background. If you need music, go ahead and put it on. About to get this thing started. Oop, where is it? Here we go. Let me just edit that last one. Okay. All right, starting in 14 seconds. 13, 12, we're starting with single leg bridges. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Single leg bridge. Switch sides. Make sure your hips aren't tilting. You want everything level here. Two, one, shrimp. single leg bridge. Back to your single leg bridge. Switch. Shrimp. Back to shrimping. Single leg bridge. Now we're going to be adding our side planks. Switch. Side plank on your right. Make sure you guys can see me. Sides. Side plank left. Shrimp. Single leg bridge. Switch. Side plank right. Side plank left. Shrimp. Single leg bridge. So now we're going to be adding our hollow rocks. Switch. Side plank on your left. Side plank on your right. Hollow body, hollow rock pose. So we're here, we're up. These are pretty challenging. You'll feel them. Lift one hand above your head. Try to get your body to fall back far. Switch your arms. Fall back, fall back. Try to let your knees be far away from your body, as far away as they can be. Back to center. Try to let your body fall. And rest. Back to shrimp. Single leg bridge. Switch. Right plank on your left. Try to challenge yourself by really extending your hips high, popping your hips. Right, switch sides. Really try to extend far. Reach for the ceiling as high as you can with your hips and your hands. Hollow body rock holds. Back. So we'll start with like a little bit of a knee tuck. And then let your legs and your chest fall back as far as you can. Control. I'm going to let one go. And then tuck a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. And then let your knees fall away from your body as far as you can control without falling. And back tuck And fall a little, fall a little, fall as far back as you can control. Shred. Bridge. Switch. Side plank left. Do starfish. Side. Switch side. Here. You can starfish, starfish. There we go. Make a star. Two. Follow by rock pose. We're going to reach our hands up, one hand up. Try to let your knees be as far from your body as you can. Let your chest fall back as far back to the floor as you can. Control. Let's switch hands. Hands back front. Tuck just a little bit. Then let your chest and your knees fall as back as you control. Tuck just a little bit. Butt rocks. So we're going to do the butt scooting thing. So we're here. So you're trying to kind of move forward. You should be moving forward. Strip. Single leg bridge. Switch. Stable hips. Make sure you're not twisted. Side press. Star, if you can, lift your feet up. Maintain the plank to the other side. Should be on the right now. Lift your feet up if you can. Find your balance course if you need to. Hollow rock hold. So a little tuck. We come up and then let your knees and your chest fall far away. Lift up one hand. Bring your other hand back. Lift up the other hand, hold it. Try to get your chest to fall back as far as you can control, and knees fall back away from you as far as you control. Shoulders not touching the mat, low back not touching the mat. 2, 1, 3 rocks. Boom. Trap. Okay, I think this is our last round, last two rounds. We're adding the box shrimp after everything. Single leg bridge. Switch. Side plank left. There you go. Good job, Amy. See if you can lift that leg up, Sarah. If not, it's all good. That top leg. Both sides. Hollow rock hold. So we got like a little boat, and then we let our knees fall and our chest fall back as far as we can control. And let's bring it in just a little bit. And then let it fall back as far as you can control. Hold it there. And then just a little tuck. And then let it fall back as far as you can control without falling. Oh, I can straighten my legs now. And then back in. Butt rocking. Doing our little butt scoop. Ooh. Feet off the ground. Whew. Stop shrimps or foot elevated shrimps, shrimp off the wall if you need to. So we're shrimping like we're reposing our guard. So we're here, out, bring our bottom leg in, step our foot over, back up. Switch to the other side. Out, back in, foot over, back up. Shrimp out, back in, step over. Regular shrimps, just regular shrimps. Single leg bridge. Single leg bridge. Switch. Up. Side plank on your left. Switch side plank on your right. Hollow rock hold. It's our last round, you guys. Easy day today. Lift one hand above your body. Let your body fall back as far as you can. Control it. Stay connected. Switch hands. Really reach back as far as you can. If you can do both, do both. Let rock. Box shrimp. Regular shift. And well, somehow in all that madness, I broke my bra. Like, I don't know.
Way to go, coach.
I was like, wait, what the heck? Well, that sucks.
That's a workout.
What did you say, Michelle?
No, that's a workout.
Yeah. So, yeah, you guys, one thing I've really been focusing on lately in my jiu-jitsu is my core and connecting my upper body with my lower body, because the core is kind of like this junction area, right? Where all the highways come and intersects, and it directs energy either to your upper body or your lower body. And I think sometimes in jiu-jitsu, it's advantageous for us to become disconnected, where our lower body can do one thing and our upper body can do another thing. But what I notice, what happens in other positions, if I stay disconnected too much, that's when people can capitalize on me because I'm weak, because my core is my weak point actually at that moment, even though like sometimes it's like good to have a top brain and a bottom brain. At other times it's not good, and then that's when people can capitalize on your weakness. And also I noticed it just so far as like pain that I feel in my body, like hip pain, knee pain, lower back pain, like that core disconnection adds to that pain. So I'm not sure if you guys really felt your core today, but that's why I like really brought that in and just kind of like slowed things down, like got really meticulous with just like really basic, simple things that we can be doing. How do you guys feel?
Good. I love the flow. I also agree, Vaughn. I think sometimes like I go really hard, and I forget to like keep the energy moving through. And
yeah,
it's kind of like endurance, like keep moving, but flow and not get stuck in your body spaces. So I appreciated this workout because of that.
Good, I'm glad. How about you, Sarah? You took off your mic.
Yeah, that was great. I need more core workouts. The second set of the first round, the one-legged bridges, I was like groaning, man. That was tough. That was a lot of bridges.
Yeah. And I actually, one thing that I didn't mention while I was doing this is if I started to just do single leg bridge holds towards the, like after the second or third round, not because I couldn't just bust them through, but it was just giving more focus. Like I'm putting this on record, but like I actually have disproportionate strength in my right hip and my left hip. It's weird. It's just like, hey, why is this hip stronger than that hip? Maybe because I like to armbar and triangle people more on this side than that side. I don't know. But it's like you always have like your strong and your dominant side. So sometimes when you find that, like either it's really hard or it's like you just have disproportionate strength left to right. Like I just regress the exercise to just holding the single leg bridge. So maybe try doing that in the future. I did like a little pump, like 3 bridges so I felt my booty kind of like burn, and then I held it the remainder of that time. So.
All right.
What about you, Amy? How you feel?
Good. It was a good workout. I've actually been having like some hip pain. Like I went for a walk and then my hip hurt. And so, yeah, I really appreciate like having exercises that target strengthening the hip and sort of the stretching and stuff too.
I think I'm gonna like just design a full-on just program for jiu-jitsu just for hips and knees, man. Hips, knees, and core. I feel like it doesn't matter who you are, how long you've been training, like we feel it. This is weird. And shoulders too. It's like hip, knees, shoulders, and core. Yeah. But I'm excited to get to this guillotine workout. This is my last day of like, I told you I had the tonsillitis, and so I was never sick, but I wanted to finish my antibiotics. So this is my last day on my antibiotics, and then I'll be able to, I did my COVID test, I'm clean, like no strep, none of that. So I'm gonna get my training partners, choke them, get you that good guillotine workout, Sarah, and then we should be back. I'm actually gonna, like this weekend is 4th of July. So we'll have that off, like, so everybody can just enjoy their 4th of July weekend, and then we'll be back with hallway jiu-jitsu on the 11th. No break. I'll be back, what is it, the 5th? No, the 6th. The 6th is Monday, so we'll be back on the 6th. And then hallway jiu-jitsu will be back again on the 11th. All right. See you guys next week. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions.
Thanks, Coach. You're awesome.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you for the workout.
Bye.